Good afternoon. I am Linda de Waard and I will tell you something about ball bearing during this pitch. This pitch is for the subject Technical English. First of all, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell during this presentation. I will tell you something about what are ball bearings used for, how does a ball bearing work, how is a ball bearing made, and the sources that I have used. First of all, what are ball bearings used for? Actually, bearings are used for everything that rotates, and ball bearings are the most common used bearing, so it's basically used for everything. As you can see, I have some examples for what ball bearings are used for. Ball bearings are used for skateboards, fidget spinners, a lathe, a cordless drill, a door hinge. They are in your car. At least 100 ball bearings in a car, and also in inline skates. How does a ball bearing work? Well, as you can see at the picture on the left, a ball bearing is made out of a few different parts. A ball bearing contains at least 8 balls, an inner ring, an outer ring, and the rings are also called races. To keep the balls in place, there is a separator, which will also be called a cage by a different company, and the inner hole in the ball bearing is called a bore. As you can see in the GIF on the right, how the ball bearing is used, as you can see, there are a few moving parts. Actually, it depends on your construction which parts are moving. But in this example, the inner race is rotating. That means the X will rotate as well, because the X will bring the motion into the inner ring. The inner ring gives the motion to the balls, which you can see if you follow the red dots on the GIF. And the outer ring is staying in place. This means that the inner component of this construction is rotating. It is possible that the outer ring is rotating, so it will be used in, for example, skateboards. The X which the bearing is on will stay in place and the wheel will turn, what makes the outer ring turn. This way of keeping motion is really good because there will not be any contact friction, so it will last a lot longer. How are ball bearings made? Surprisingly, the rolling balls start out as thick steel wires, which then are put into a cold heading machine, as you can see, and the ball comes out after a lot of pressure is inserted. But the ball will keep a flash. That's the ring on the outside, as you can see in the picture, which looks like the ring of Saturn. Actually, those rings can stay because it will damage your races, and the balls will be placed in a rotating machine. This rotating machine, as you can see on the second picture, this rotating machine will take away the flare by rubbing the balls against a sanding wheel, and the flares will disappear. After that, they are put into a furnace which hardens the material and makes them less likely to be damaged. But to make sure the outer surface is as smooth as possible, after the furnace they will put into a lapping machine to smoothen everything out and make the ball perfectly round. The cage, which you can see on the third picture, the rays will be cut out of the already thin metal sheet and will be hardened after that as well in the furnace. The same goes for the outer and inner rays. They will just be cut out of tubing material and then be hardened and smoothened out as well. After that, they will all be assembled to the ball bearing. Yes. The sources that I have used for this presentation and this onderzoek are SKF, which is a big producer of bearings, and Made How, which is a site that describes technical projects and how they are made. Therefrom, I got the pictures of the how is it made slide. If you have any questions, please send them to me. And thanks for your attention.